taken machinery used in the production process. It should be capitalized, not expensed off. There is a risk that non-current assets are understated and expenditure in the SOPL is overstated. In the audit response, auditors should review a breakdown of the cost and agree to invoice to assess the nature of expenditure. If capital expenditure, ensure it has been included in the non-current asset register. If it is a revenue expenditure, agree to the SOPL.
So as I explained just now when Nabil was presenting, I think was it Nabil?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, so as my explanation just now, if you say there is free sum expenditure that should be capitalized have been expensed, I don't see an issue here. I mean, this is not appropriate, because if you expense off, it only affects 1 year. But if you capitalize wrong, if you capitalize unqualified expenditure, then it will result in unqualified expenditure capitalized, then you will need to depreciate it for a long period of time. So basically the audit risk here is risk that the expenditure which does not meet the capitalization criteria, or risk that the revenue in nature, risk that the revenue in nature expenditure wrongly capitalized. And how do you know what is the updating cost? Did the question give you the breakdown for updating cost, repairing cost, replacement cost? Did they explain to you what are the things that they update?
No, Miss.
If they update the Microsoft Word into MS 365, should you capitalize the cost? Yes, no, anybody want to try?
Microsoft Words, Microsoft Office, not really lah, because the amount is not that material also.
Not that material, number one. Number two is, first time when you purchase, you would have already capitalized and depreciated. Second time upgrading, if that kind of upgrading, you should expense off rather than capitalizing. So this question did not tell you clearly what is the content of the expenses, right? So if you want to write like that, it's going to be difficult. So if the expenditure is capital in nature, then by right it should be capitalized as part of PP as per IAS 16. However, if it relates to repair, then you should expense off. So in this case, the risk is that, so you may want to write, can you type fast? I type very slow. Can someone type very fast? Don't type like a tortoise. Any of the classmates who can type very fast? Or else I'll just stop, you go and record and you watch later. So according to IAS 16, expenses which are capital in nature should be capitalized. Revenue in nature should be expense off. So first of all, you must write IAS 16 PPE's requirement. What is the requirement of the accounting standard? Okay, IAS. You must be proactive. You all complain that no participation. You all say there's only one-way communication. Now ask you all don't want to type. Then complain she got no patience, cannot even wait. Hello, somebody please type lah. Or else I'll just write generally. So what is the wrong treatment, wrong accounting treatment? So they might wrongly capitalize those revenue in nature. So revenue in nature, expenditure, wrongly capitalized. Wrongly capitalized. So what is the impact on the FS? PPE overstated, expenses understated. Okay, what is the response? So auditor should review the breakdown. Okay, so if you want to know whether should be capitalized or expense, you need to review the breakdown and look at the invoice and assess whether it is capital in nature or revenue in nature. Okay. So because you already explained here the IAS 16 requirement, you are not required to explain here another time. Okay? Are you guys clear?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, let's go to next point. Zihong Lim is asking for access. So please give access. Zihong Lim, are you going to type?
It's actually better to like use the link that then everyone that have link can be editor. Then everyone can just use the link and just join to type. This will be easier.
It's going to mess up the whole thing. Can you imagine 10 people typing the same thing when I'm talking?
No lah, like someone typing, then other than you just like type, choose one person, then
Okay lah. Okay, fine. So this is the requirement. This is how it is done. So this answer is not related. So your this one is fine, this one is not fine. Okay, next your next what is this? You are talking about warehouses. So they have warehouses and some of the warehouses are owned by Mila themselves. So what is the risk? So the risk that any of warehouse did not comply the control procedure of inventory. What is this related? Are you talking about inventory or are you focusing on the warehouse? Whose answer is this?
Miss, this is my answer.
Yeah, so what is your focus? Warehouse is PPE, inventory is under current asset.
I'm trying to say the internal control, the warehouse, like different control.
For what? Control on what?
So maybe the internal control is not so good.
So that is company problem. How is it relevant to auditor?
So the auditor need to for the test of control need to take more sample to test, right?
Wow. First of all, which item is affected? Which item in FS is affected? Which item are you talking about?
Internal control.
Item in financial statement, darling.
Oh. Warehouses.
You're talking about warehouse. So what is the issue here in this case? I don't know why it's okay. What is the issue here? So warehouse is relating. What is? I mean, which assertion are you referring to? Assertions.
Assertion. The classification. The classification.
Classification of what?
Actually, I'm not very sure. I just like want to say the control maybe got problems.
You cannot go on that basis. Number one is copy from scenario. Number two, which item are you referring? Inventory or warehouse? if you are going on warehouse, what is the issue in this question? They mentioned some of the warehouse is owned by Mila, some are rented. So warehouse you usually capitalize as part of PPE, right? So basically you are talking on rights and obligation. So what could go wrong? What is wrong treatment? So what could be the wrong treatment? Warehouse belongs to third party may wrongly capitalized as Mila's PPE. So what is the impact? PPE overstated, and when you rent a warehouse, you need to pay rental, right? So rental expense understated. This is audit risk question, not internal control question. You scroll down to next page. I have actually typed the answer in the next page. So this is not internal control question. Internal control question will never appear under audit risk. It is totally two different things, okay? So the auditor's response is, auditor should select and visit warehouse which contains significant inventory to have control in place. That's why you did not identify. Are you talking about inventory or warehouse? So if you are talking about warehouse, how are you going to know whether the warehouse belongs to Mila? Because we only said warehouse belongs to Mila can be capitalized, right? Anybody, what is the document? BBFD2033.
Yes, miss.
Yes. Wah, that day consultation bukan main excited leh. Okay, tell me. Quick, Zima is waiting to type.
Oh, what am I? Wait.
What is the document to prove whether the warehouse belongs to Mila or third party?
S&P.
So for those warehouse capitalized during the year, I never call you to laugh. You better get ready. I'll make sure you answer. You and where's the Chinese boy? I mean, where's the boy?
I can give different answer.
Miss.
Rero. Now I got two names ready.
Miss, I'll give different answer lah.
Yeah, wait, I'll ask both of you. Now I got you ready. So I'm in the right group. Okay, so quickly, who's typing there? So for any addition of warehouse during the year, for any additions of warehouse during the year, wait, are you typing or not? BBFD2033, you type.
I don't have access.
Hey, someone give access to this girl quickly. You request access.
Where's the name?
You don't even know. Nair, type NAIR.
Divya, try to use the link in the chat box, see whether can access or not. Because I changed to link, everyone can be editor.
Okay, so you will need to look for those those warehouse purchase during the year. So addition put in bracket, addition beside the addition put bracket, purchase during the year. Purchase during the year. So for all the warehouse purchase during the year, inspect the sales and purchase agreement. Inspect the sales and purchase agreement to ensure the warehouse belongs to Mila and Kola. Okay, you finish typing, we'll go to the next part. There will be inventory count taking place at all the 15 warehouses. So the issue here is auditor unlikely to attend to perform. Hello, darling. Auditor's work is not to perform inventory count. We don't perform. Performing inventory count is part of preparation of financial statement. We do not perform inventory count. We do not prepare financial statement. So the auditor are unlikely to attend the stock count in all 15 warehouses at the year end. So there is risk that inventory may be misstated. Why misstated? There is risk that The inventory, Divya Gayatri. There is risk that inventory, after the inventory, you see here, I highlighted here. Okay, type. There is risk that the inventory may not be counted properly by the company, resulting in misstatement in the quantity of inventory, quantity of closing balance, misstatement in the quantity of closing balance inventory, which results in the closing balance amount in the SOFP and TBT also misstated. Okay. So since we already write on top, so this one we no need to write here. Okay, so what is the response? How are you going to select which warehouse you're going to attend? So you should choose based on the stores which have material inventory, more quantity of inventory, or stores which have a lot of issues with inventory. Next is new accounting ledger have been introduced, right? So basically when they are using old and new system, there is one problem. The data, so when you are using new system introduced during the year, that means the old data must be transferred, right? So what type of data do you transfer into the new system? So how should I call you? Your name too long lah, like my name. I should call you Divya or Gayatri or what?
Divya.
Huh?
Divya, just Divya.
Okay, Divya. Divya Enviro. So what is the data that we are transferring here?
Closing balance, is it?
What closing balance?
Closing balance from the old system.
Yeah, so what,
we transfer
which accounting record can you get the closing balance?
Which accounting record? Balance?
Yes, perfect. So the data from the trial
because
balance,
they are changing the accounting system, right? So they should have those transactions that from the earlier of the year until the time that they want to change the accounting system, right? So we just transfer the old system, the closing balance, to the new system. So we get the opening balance, right? Then we just continue to key in the entries.
Okay. So there is risk that who's talking?
The risk.
Wait. I heard my own voice as echo. Okay. So the data, which is the trial balance, there might be error in transferring. So the data trial balance might be transferred wrongly, or gone missing while transferring, gone missing when transferring from old system to new system. So because of that, the opening balance of the new system being misstated. So because the opening balance is misstated, this could result in the year-end financial statement figures are also misstated. Okay, you see, when your opening balance is wrong, but during the year, even though you enter the transaction correctly, still it is considered, the closing balance still considered wrong, right? If your opening is wrong, so same concept. So the response is, auditor, you should review the opening balance of the new system and agree to the closing balance of the old system to make sure the figure tie. Okay, nice. Next is they have 4.5 million of developing costs. So according to IAS 38, you must capitalize if it fulfills the criteria. So if the development expenditure meet the 6 criteria, but does not capitalize correctly. So as I said, if you go an expense of capitalizing expenditure, it's fine. So if the development expenditure does not meet the 6 criteria, but wrongly capitalized, Then development cost, which is the intangible asset, will be overstated, and intangible asset will be overstated, profit will be understated. Anybody got any questions so far? No. Wei Rong,
No,
any
miss.
question?
No.
Si Hong?
No, miss.
Oh, you are also boy, Si Hong. I had a student, Zihong. He is hyperactive. I actually had last time face-to-face class. My class used to be 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't like 8 o'clock in the morning because I have to wake up early. But I like to attend the lecture and his tutorial because he will just make me awake throughout the session. So I hope you can also do a good job by entertaining me.
Miss, I'm not active enough.
Yeah, you must learn to be active lah. What's the big deal? You see, Divya Gayatri now she's very active.
I try my best.
Okay. The audit team should discuss the accounting treatment with the development director to see whether it is in accordance with IAS 38. And as usual, if you are not sure of classification, you need to get the breakdown. You need to obtain the breakdown of and then you need to assess whether it can be capitalized. Okay, next is here they have recruited new controller. So the problem is they actually maintain the allowance. So the director actually released the opening allowance. Release opening allowance means they actually credited other income, which is allowance for doubtful debt, and they credit trade receivables. Okay, so in this case, your revenue, your income will increase lah, and also your trade receivables. Yes, you can imagine.
Yes, can imagine.
Trade receivables, initially the AFDD, then you will get net trade receivables, right? So now let's give figure. Trade receivables is 1K, and then AFDD is 0.3K, so 300 lah. And then your net receivables is 700. Okay, 700. This one is 300. So now what they are doing is, so now in your SOFP, this will be the balance in SOFP. But what they are planning now is they're going to remove this. So when they remove this, this will now appear in SOFP. So basically you are not giving any allowance for doubtful debt and your other income will increase. So there is risk that if the outstanding balance is not, the word is okay lah, but better to use accounting related work. If it is not recoverable and no AFDD provided, then the receivables will be overstated. And then the response is, how are you going to know receivables overstated or not? You will need to look at the provision or allowance for doubtful debt and see whether it is still relevant or not. So if the customer is owing for a long period of time and no AFDD provided, you ask the accountant, why no AFDD provided? See here, discuss the reason for not providing AFDD. Next, no adjustment being made for the damaged inventory, which is 1 million. So, okay, coming back here, what is the accounting principle here? Divya, what is the accounting principle?
For the damaged inventory.
No, not damaged inventory, the trade receivable. Asset should be stated at lower of?
Wait.
Actual.
There is two things here. Wei Rong?
According According to prudence, right, cannot overstate the asset.
Yeah, what is the word here? What is this CA?
Carrying amount and recoverable amount.
So your asset should be stated at lower of cost and recoverable amount. So if the balance is not recoverable amount, you need to write down at the carrying amount, right? Is this correct?
Yes.
Wait.
Wait, let me think.
Correct lah.
So now
This is your original trade receivables figure. Then if you know they are not going to pay you, that means the recoverable amount will be lower than the carrying amount, right?
Yes.
So that's why you should state your asset at lower of carrying amount and recoverable amount. If your recoverable amount is lower, you should recognize
use recoverable amount.
Mm.
Okay, understood.
Which IS?
This means
You get which IS? I don't.
Yes, miss.
So what is the answer?
39, is it?
So you go and find out which IAS it is, okay?
IS 39.
Go and find out what IAS 39?
Trade receivables.
Trade receivables,
No, where?
IAS 39. Yes, you are right. So it is IAS 39. Okay, next is no adjustment have been made, right? So inventory should be stated at lower of cost and NRV. There is risk that damage inventory net realizable value lower than the cost if they didn't provide impairment overstated. Perfect. Okay, this is how I expect you to write. Fantastic. Very good answer. Okay? You see, it is very clean, very clear cut. So what is the impact? Risk inventory overstated, expenditure understated. Nice. So auditor's response is you need to review the net realizable value and do comparison whether it is still lower of cost and NRV. Okay, scroll down next point. As in previous year, they are supposed to be paid with annual bonus. So what happened with bonus? Based on total asset. So if your total asset is high, bonus will also be high. So can I push this to next page? Okay, class rep. Meanwhile, can you check whether everybody present or not?
Sir, Miss Tugashini is absent because she going hospital.
Oh, haven't come back lah. Haven't recovered yet.
This time is because her mother just discharged and get well from the COVID, so she go hospital.
Okay.
Yeah.
Today doctors are on strike, so very sad, difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, I will not go on strike, okay? Okay, coming back here, of course their work is different. They are dealing with lives. I'm not dealing with life. I am just dealing with some education things. So of course I cannot compare myself with them now. Okay, coming back here. So this is related to IAS 16. No lah, don't write the wrong thing. So there is risk management might manipulate. This is the risk management might deliberately manipulate the expenses, unqualified capital expenditure to increase the asset so that they can get bonus for this. So that is fine. So they might manipulate value of asset deliberately through capitalization of unqualified expenditures such as just now capitalizing unqualified development cost, and then just now we also had the PPE, right? Capitalizing unqualified PPE, and then not providing not providing AFDD, and they also did not write off or write down the value of damage inventory. You see or not? The whole question is actually related, you know. If you see one by one, if they go and capitalize development costs, your total asset increase, right? So bonus increase. If you don't provide allowance for the full debt, trade receivables increase, bonus also increase. You then write down the damage inventory, your asset also increase. So this is how you should relate to the scenario. I don't expect you to write all this lah, but at least write one or two. It's a must lah. Write one or two thing is a very important thing. Okay. So the response is the audit team needs to be alert for this risk and maintain professional skepticism. You need to perform detailed review testing on accounting treatment related capitalization of asset, especially intangible asset, inventories, PPE, and trade receivables. So these are the items which we discussed here, right? These are the items we discussed below here. So you write like this. This one no need lah. This one only write one procedure is enough. So far guys, can you all understand? Ada faham?
Yes, Miss.
Boleh
Miss.
ikut?
Yes, but then I have some questions, Miss. Since the question are interrelated, right? Those cases are. So the examples we could like repeat it in different cases, is it?
Which one? The tutorial question?
Yeah.
Which cases?
Because like how to say?
Oh, the last one, manipulation is it? I'm talking about coursework. You are talking about coursework assignment or question?
Or tutorial question.
So which one is repeated?
Because like got one case is about the PPE, right? If we wrongly classify, so the PPE and also the profit will be affected because of the depreciation, all those things, right?
Yes.
Then it will affect the the bonus declared also So
Yes.
we could repeat the examples, right? For both cases.
Can. But if the question got give you evidence of manipulation, then you can write. If the question never give you any tips that they are going to manipulate, then you cannot write that.
Oh, okay. And one more is the scenario, right? We can just copy directly from the passage, or we
The
need
scenario?
to.
No, scenario just copy from the passage directly.
Okay, got it.
Okay, no need to be too creative. You just copy paste. I will give you 1 mark. But for your coursework test, you don't need to copy paste. I already copy paste for you. So you only need to explain the risk.
Okay.
I'm very good ready, you know. Where can you find good lecturer like me? I will copy paste for you. You just need to write the answer. Enough.
Okay.
Am I good or not?
Understood. Yeah.
Not good.
Yes,
I am very great, kind-hearted angel. Okay. So you think am I an angel or no?
You are, Miss.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you next week. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Thank you, Miss. Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.